What's going on with you? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Happy New Year to all you guys out there. Been late. You just now catching up to the show. We just now getting back out here putting out that quality real content that you love. Um First week of February and last week of January, we uh we seen some very interesting things in the media. We saw Donald Trump put a freeze on on social services, sort of say benefits, housing, food, different Meals on Wheels, different programs that aid citizens. And you can see he ended DEI. A lot of things that he has done that that his supporters, his Trump supporters, MAGA, they were very despondent with. They were outraged. How could you actually, hurt America while making America great again? That also comes on the cusp of one of our favorite reality TV show, Queens, and I spell it with a Kweens, Queens, Melody Cherie leaving the show, and for a while now, she has done nothing to add to the show. She has done nothing but sh- been bitter, been hurt, lashing out, blaming different things on characters or castmates on the show, and she has nothing to offer. Now, you're wondering, why am I all of a sudden doing, content that involves a reality TV show? Because the thing about reality is I can best join these two together by showing you how Melometers and how Trump supporters mesh and become one. Okay. So the trauma bond is real. The trauma bond is one where you can see how Trump supporters and how Melometers are uniquely tied. So let's just go with the initial the initial bond. The initial bond is that you feel slighted. You feel some kind of way about the situation. A lot of people felt some type of way about immigration, and they felt some type of way about divorce or cheating. They feel some type of way that you can't really get other than an experience. So once you experience that uniqueness, and it's painful, you see areas where people have also had a similar um, instance where that is a thing, right? So where that's the thing it's your trauma, and the bond comes in where if you've been cheated on, you can identify with a cheating or infidelity spouse. The trauma comes from MAGA supporters. Is where you see people not getting jobs, or you think they're not getting jobs because they're not, because of immigration, or you see certain levels of housing or assistance um, being full, or being unavailable due to the amount of migrants that have come to the country illegal. So you could see where the trauma is in all of that. So that's how you get the trauma bomb. The problem is, and here's the thing: this is one of the unique situations that happens when it comes to trauma bomb. Some people, liberals, Democrats, true conservatives, see through the bond, see through the actual part where you guys are connecting. A lot of people saw through the BS that Miss Cherie was doing, the lashing out, the making frenemies, the I got coins to make, not friends to fake, all the while you're a fake person. That is the same thing America is waiting to see when it comes to MAGA support group. When we actually see you guys see through the bond, the bond, through the trauma, through the gaslighting and the manipulation, and actually see that This is a hoax. This is a narcissistic, in both cases, two narcissistic people who are over promising and under delivering. And that is disaster. The problem is one of these people had our hearts when it came to reality TV. The other one of these people has the highest office in the land. And so it's unfortunate that the pure scene critical thinking that goes through it hasn't happened yet. Eventually, what's going to happen is just like Melody Shari, after years of seeing certain excuses, certain lacks of accountability, certain um, things are detrimental to reform, you'll see it won't happen. Now, here's the thing. Let's tie it all together. There are actual incidents in this TV show where you can see that infidelity is actually a bad thing. Uh, Creating another child outside of your marriage is a actual bad thing. Um, Harassing communication is a bad thing. There are actual incidents where these things are bad. The problem, there are actual incidents in our country where reform is necessary. The government is very wasteful. The government is very overly saturated with people who are just riding the economic wave of they have a government job. There's also an oversaturation with illegal immigration. There is a over population in the DEI exclusion that has people getting jobs that don't. So there is an actual problem in some of these areas. There's an actual instance where some of this stuff is needed. The problem that we have is that we take the misinformation of how oversaturated it is, and we use the bond from the pain and the suffering, or the potential pain or the potential suffering that has happened, and we mix the two. And so now, out of that pain, it has allowed um Trump supporters, i.e., Melometers, to attack people unnecessary, to attack the castmates unnecessary, to attack businesses, to attack the character of others based on the misinformation that our trauma bond allowed us to have. So, with all of that being said, here's the thing. Eventually, you see through. Eventually, they see their way through. So, I think as a one of the spearheads to pointing out the show's um, shortcomings, or the lack of integrity that one mystery might have had, it causes a fallout. You guys have fallen out with a Kamala, you've fallen out with Joe, you've fallen out with different people based on the misinformation. But I encourage you to tuned stay tuned, because as you hear the "they'll be okays" and you'll hear the "we'll get through it" and you hear the "we'll make America great again," you'll begin to see some of the things that were once a place of connection and touch point for you. You'll find out that that was actually gaslighting. There's a lot of content creators. Shout out to Anthony Lofty's, Marcella Speaks, some of the other ones who have actually reached out and said, "Hey, my bad. We got it wrong when it came to you. We didn't think you knew what you were talking about. We thought you were just a hater, the blah blah blah, basement Billy, all of these other things." And the truth is, it's actually refreshing to know that what you stand on with integrity, what you inspect with your brown roots, what you inspect with your brown roots right here, as you can see, produces a better fruit. People are actually starting to desire the black excellence out of a TV show. The black excellence is going to be more prevalent and more necessary now that we are having a president who wants to eliminate a black history. You want to eliminate the DEI. You want to eliminate certain aspects of the government. As this happens, you're going to see that the black community and minority community and under influential community has the power of unity. That is one of the part of the words of community, unity, is that we always miss. And that we get it in the bonding part, we don't get it in the believing part. I'm gonna say that again. We get it in the bonding part. We don't get it in the believing part, and we're gonna need it in the believing part. We need the actual belief in ourselves. Don't believe everything. Now, I'm not telling you not to believe some things or not to be skeptical, or but trust but verify. We're going to need that as we enter into this new era of political um I want to say dissension. We don't know if it's going to descend yet, but we have to be skeptical that it might. We have to be skeptical when it comes to what we see on reality TV. We're going to need to stand here. We're going to need to use this as a testing ground to see our unity. Use our testing ground to see if we can't demand and command that TV shows give us excellence when they produce shows that are about us and people who look like us. They're not or portray people like us. We need to take a stance and say, "Hey, this show these people look like us. We want to show that our unity says show the better parts of them. Show the better parts of them like you show the better parts when they're flipping houses or when they're buying new properties or when they're doing other things. Show the better parts of our community. As a community, we're going to have to stand together. As a generation, we're going to have to stand together and say, hey, we want to see the better parts because someone politically is also taking away the parts that make us a whole. It's funny that they say, oh, we're going to get rid of Black history. Black history is American history. You don't have there is an American history, and through different propaganda and through different deep fakes, they're going to make us think, hey, it's no longer a thing. It is always a thing. The trauma bond is over. Baby, is over now. And what we need to do is to stand together as one queen exit and another queen comes in. We need to stand together in unity and say, hey, we want to see the excellence. We want to see the f the 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 effing around and finding out. We need to see that. We need to see the coming together of your words and your actions. We need to see manifestation. So I think if you look closely at this TV show, if you look closely at our political leaders, you can see how trauma bonding happens. You can see how people are so enamored with the person in front of them that they overlook critical things like common sense and friendliness and politeness, and we can get past this. It's going to break. It always breaks. The truth always comes to light. It always comes to light. Sometimes it's been well lit in front of your face all the time, and out of your pain or out of your suffering, you choose not to like it, i.e., in the case of me, or sometimes you have to wait. In the case of voting in a president and watching him not end the war in 24 hours like he promised, or not bringing the price of eggs down like he promised, or not attacking some of the things that were seeming to be more in his control than getting rid of DEI. Now, while a lot of us agree with two genders and some of these other things, there are some nuances that we're not always going to agree on, but there are some things that stand for civil liberties and equal rights that we can all stand with. The same as this cast mate who just left. Thank God, good riddance. And not in a bad way of, we hope you go off and rot in hell and like that. Thank God that you are finally free from the thing that you said brought you the most sorrow. It brought you joy, but it brought you the most sorrow. So thank God, and good riddance is in the form of you never have to deal with this again. Uh, and you never have to worry about your fake friends. Now you can go be with your real friends, and we want to see you thrive the way you always said you could. That's never a thing that people wish. We don't wish uh destruction on you. We wish you prosperity in a different direction. We wish you, like one of these roots here, we wish that you would grow just in a different direction. So again, hey, you guys, thank y'all for listening to Brown Roots. Hey, we're back. We out here. Stay tuned. We're gonna do more video. Before it was all audio, so you can still catch me on Apple. You can still catch me on Spotify. You can still, stop by my IG. I revamped my IG, got rid of all the, now that she's gone, we got rid of all the negativity and all the little slander, stuff that y'all used to put, all y'all coming in my DMs and all of that. Still on TikTok, still on Facebook, but you can catch me more here on YouTube and Spotify as we continue, inspecting our roots so we can have better fruits. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see y'all again on the next podcast.